Whispers in the shadows. Clara was the kind of girl who had always preferred the company of her imagination over reality. At 7 years old, she didn't have many friends. Most of the children in her neighborhood didn't understand her eccentricities. But Clara wasn't lonely. She had an imaginary friend, Oliver. They had met in the backyard on a summer day, surrounded by daisies and the sound of a gentle breeze. Oliver had soft, curling hair and a mischievous smile. Together, they launched into grand adventures, traveling to lands of make-believe where Clara reigned as a brave princess and Oliver as her clever knight. For the first few months, Oliver was a wonderful companion. He crafted stories for Clara, filled with excitement and captivating twists. But as summer turned to fall, Clara began to notice things changing. It all started with small incidents. A broken toy, a misplaced book, and a strange feeling as though someone was watching her when she was alone. One evening, as Clara played in her room, shadows crept at the edges of her vision. She turned to call out to Oliver, but he didn't respond as he normally would. She frowned, a chill creeping up her spine, but then she heard his voice, almost a whisper, "Clara, come play." It was strange how different his voice sounded now, darker, more sinister. She tried to shake off the feeling, reminding herself that he was just her imaginary friend, just a figment of her creativity. Yet the unease grew as the days went on. Oliver became increasingly demanding, suggesting games that felt wrong, like hide and seek in the dark, or daring her to jump off the highest swing at the park. One night, Clara lay in bed, wrapped in her covers, an icy fear settling over her when she heard Oliver's laughter echoing through the darkness. It was no longer the cheerful sound that filled her with joy, it resonated like a warning bell. "Let's play a new game, Clara," he beckoned. "I want to show you something." "What do you mean?" Clara asked, her voice shaking. "Don't be scared," he soothed, but his tone was sharp, as if he relished the fear it instilled. "Just trust me." Against her better judgment, Clara climbed out of bed, compelled by an unknown force. The house was wrapped in darkness, save for the distant glow of streetlights filtering through the windows. She followed Oliver's ethereal presence down the hallway, stopping at the basement door, the door that had always been off-limits. "Clara, it's time to see," Oliver urged, his voice now low and haunting. "Come with me." Trembling, Clara touched the cold doorknob and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a cavern of blackness. She could feel waves of cold air spilling out, laced with whispers that seemed to come from the shadows themselves. But Clara hesitated, a knot tightening in her stomach. As if sensing her fear, Oliver's voice grew more insistent. "Don't you want to see the truth? Imagine all the fun we'll have." With a deep breath, Clara stepped through the threshold. The basement was filled with old boxes, forgotten furniture, and shadows that danced in the flickering light from her flashlight. In the corner, Clara spotted a large antique mirror, its surface cracked and dusty, yet oddly captivating. "Look into the mirror, Clara," Oliver whispered. His tone was both alluring and terrifying, wrapping around her mind, tugging her closer. And when Clara finally gazed into the glass, the reflection that stared back was not her own. In the mirror, she saw a twisted, malevolent version of herself, eyes dark and devoid of warmth, a wicked smile stretching across a face she recognized yet feared. "You can be like me, Clara. Just let me in," the figure in the mirror hissed. Clara stumbled back, terror coursing through her veins. "No," she screamed, trying to shake off the spell Oliver had cast. "You are not my friend." But the room twisted around her, shadows spiraling as a cacophony of whispers filled her ears. "It's too late," Oliver sneered. "You can't escape me." In a sudden burst of courage, Clara dashed toward the door, heart racing. The shadows clung to her, pulling her back, as Oliver's laughter echoed, dark and menacing. "You can't run from your own imagination." Slamming the basement door behind her, Clara pressed her back against it, gasping for breath. For a moment, all was silent. Then she saw the outline of a figure beyond the door, the handle twisting slowly. "Let me out, you're not real," Clara shouted, determination surging through her. With all her strength, she pressed her palms against the door, screaming, "You are just a figment. You can't hurt me." And with those words, she felt the weight of Oliver's presence begin to wane. The door rattled violently, but when she opened it, there was nothing but the emptiness of the basement, No whispers, no shadows. Just Clara standing alone, finally free. Returning to her room, she wiped her tears, whispering a silent farewell to the imaginary friend who had once filled her with joy but had turned into something sinister. Oliver was gone, replaced by the realization that sometimes, the imagination could conjure monsters as easily as it could create friends. As Clara snuggled back into her blankets, the shadows in her room felt less suffocating. She learned that while imagination could yield many wonders, it was a restless, unpredictable thing, and not every whisper in the dark was a call to play. Sometimes, it was a warning.